And welcome back, YouTube. This is Booster Box Buster, here with something a little bit different. Today I got for you a Troll and Toad Yugioh TCG multi-single card purchase. Lately, as you guys have seen, I've been opening up a decent amount of Yugioh Zexal product, and after opening up those products, I'm missing a fair amount of cards, probably about 20 or so from each set. And I thought, well, this would be a perfect way to try to fill some gaps in those collections. As you can see here, I have 4 different stacks. We got Generation Force, Galactic Overlord, Return of the Duelist, and Shadow Specters. And I was contemplating getting some Photon Shockwave, but I decided to hold off because I may want to open up another box of that in the future. And one other thing to note before we get into this, you can see all the cards are sleeved. They did not come sleeved. I put on the sleeves myself from my own collection because I do plan on putting these into a collection binder after this video. Without further introduction, let's get started. We'll start with the Generation Force pile first. First up, we have Xyz Veil. Very nice. I did have this in unlimited edition, but I was looking for a first edition one, and it was reasonable price, so I thought I'd pick it up. Gagaga Magician. Very fun card. I really wish I could use it to Synchro Summon, though. Super Crash Bug. It's a super rare. It's not really a good card, but I did need it to help complete the collection. Wind Up Juggler. Once again, not really a good card. The effect is... a lot of cards have that effect and do it better, so... but once again, did need it for the collection. Space Time Police. This card's fun. Good for Psychic type... not a bad choice for Psychics. There's better options, but if you need a card, this one could do. Submersible Carrier Aerial Shark. Number 34, Terror Bite. Basically a change of heart for level 4 lower monsters. Infected Male. Now this one I think you could have a lot of fun with if you can build it right. The effect is you can equip this card to a level 4 lower monster. That level 4 lower monster can attack directly that turn. However, you have to send that monster to the graveyard at the end of your turn. Now, the nice thing about this card is it doesn't have to be a normal monster. It could be an effect monster, and it could be any level 4 or lower. So if you... I was thinking maybe equip it to that one guy that can attack twice, and if you can beef him up, equip him with this. You could do like 4,000 damage in one shot to your opponent with this card. This card I think could have some very specific uses in the future. Piercing Moray. Meh. I love the artwork though. It's just like an evil Moray. It's a really cool image. Lost Blue Breaker. Not really worthy of the secret rare status, but did need it for the collection. And Smashing Horn. Very specific counter trap, but could be citable if those ever become a problem in the future. Up next, we move to Galactic Overlord, or as I like to call it, the Heretic set. First up, we have Tsuki Knight. His effect is actually not bad, it's just you can only use it once per game, so that's what really depowers this guy. Jumbo Drill. Bound Wand, just a meh. equip card for magicians. XYZ unit. Now, the big bonus on this card, yes, you do get a 200 attack times its rank, but the big thing is you can use this as a XYZ material detachment for your XYZ, which is huge for some XYZ decks. Tardy Orc. If you can special summon this guy, you could do some immense damage, because it's basically, what's that card? Goblin Attack Force. It just can't attack the turn it's summoned, or normal summoned, but doesn't say anything about special summons, so could be very powerful. Secret rare. Dragon Connection. Probably used for Heretic style decks. And Shining Elf, a very meh rank 2. Now we move on to Return of the Duelist. Gurgi Armor. This guy I did have a little bit of an issue with because it looked like they had like a couple of little tiny pinpricks, not go all the way through, but like impressions on the card. Like something like just a little tiny crumb or something sat on top of the card and then something else sat on it and it just kind of embedded into it. Definitely not bad enough to be removed from the collection, but just a little note there. Illusionary Snatcher. This guy is actually pretty interesting. It could be special, or when you attribute summon, you can special summon it, and then it basically takes on all the, the name, the attribute, and the type as the same monster, but it keeps its original attack, so that's pretty cool. Surprised that somebody hasn't found some sort of good combo with this guy. Chronomaly Crystal. Chronatu. Really love the angel effect that this guy does. Kind of reminds me of something you'd see from like Evangelion. Prophecy Destroyer. I love the artwork on this guy. This guy just looks sick. My only issue though is when I got this card, it had like a little bit of a smear, like right around here. Thankfully I was able to wipe it off with a tech cloth, but just like a little grease smear, well not grease, but like, just like a little food smear or something on there. Advanced Zone. Was this the Dark World? When you attribute summon monsters, it's definitely very limited use, but I'm sure some decks could probably figure out a way around to use it. Armored Kappa, once again a very meh level 2. And Spirit Converter, which just seems like an incredibly specific secret rare to lightning level 4 decks. I have no idea. Or Light Thunder? Yeah, Light Thunder type monsters, which seems very oddly specific for a secret rare like this. And finally, on to a really fun set, Shadow Specters. First up, we have Genomix Fighter, which I probably could have just been a super rare instead of an ultra rare. Marina, Princess of Sunflowers, which doesn't really have the best effect in the world, especially for its level. If it was lower level, it may be playable, but level 8 is just way too high for that type of an effect. Grand Marge, the Mega Monarch. Basically, you summon this guy, and you can destroy 2 set cards. If one of the tribute, or if the tribute was with an Earth monster, you can draw an additional card. So, very situational. Wish it had a little bit more attack. Wish it had 3,000 instead of 28, but not too bad. Number C96 Dark Storm. If you could get this guy out, he's not bad, but holy cow, the requirements is quite hefty. 3 4 level 3 dark monsters? That's a steep requirement there. Bunjin Ten Kagusuchi? Bujin Ten Kagusuchi? I gotta say, I love the Bujin archetype. It just, the fire mixed with armor and some sort of animal, it just looks really cool for art-wise, but this card in particular, its effect is not that great. Other cards tend to do it better. And this is actually a regular rare, the only one that I was missing from Shadow Specters, and that being Bujin Regalia, the Mirror. Very cool name. Very awesome artwork. Noble Knight Bors. This guy seems like he might be interesting in a Noble Knight deck. He's a normal monster unless you equip it with a Noble Knight Relic. And then he gets an effect if you do that. Basically, he turns to a dark monster, gains 1 level, and then you search for 3 noble equip cards, and your opponent chooses one at random that goes to your hand, the other 2 go to the graveyard. So you could easily get a decent noble relic off this guy. Sister Yoshiro. Never really... so it kind of gives protection and helps you with level 5 fiend type monsters. Definitely not great for continuous trap card, as that can make it its easy target, but you know, it is what it is. And Dragguard, which I find to be just a really goofy art, and actually not the worst effect I've ever seen. Let's just take a look at this guy since we haven't done one yet. When this card is normal summon, you can target 1 normal monster with 1000 attack or less in your graveyard, special summon that target to face-up defense position. Once per turn, you contribute 1 dragon monster, then target 1 face-up monster you control until the end phase. It becomes level 8, and if it does, it gains 800 attack. So basically, it really helps for Synchro or for XYZ summon, that second effect. And it gains that 800 attack, so if you just needed that little extra attack to get over your opponent's boss monster, there you go. If you just need a level 8 to Synchro or to XYZ, you also have that. So, a card that I find to be a pretty fun little card, and you get that, when it's normal summon, you get that extra special summon from your graveyard, so that's not too bad either. As you can see, these cards are definitely not the best in the world, but they are fun. They definitely help me fill in some holes in my collection, and for that I am happy. Thank you for watching. This is Booster Box Buster with the Troll and Toad Yugioh TCG multi-single card purchase slot. Signing out.